Good afternoon, YouTube man, always Joe Page, aka the Emperor of Female Boxing Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, as you know, I am a fan of mixed martial arts and also combat sports, and boxing is combat sports. It's one of the oldest, combat sports around with sweet science. And I'm a big fan of particularly this lady right here, and this is, Justino Cyborg. As you know, Cris Cyborg for short, and she's making her boxing debut. As you know, Cyborg is a Grand Slam champion, being that she held multiple titles in different organizations from UFC, Strikeforce, Invicta, and also she's the current, uh, you know, uh, Invicta 145 women's champion. And it's been a while since she fought. Since I think a little bit early this year. I think it's about I think was it like past a little bit past about fall, something like that. Like early spring when she fought against Ali Blanco. It's been a while. She hasn't been active, but she's transitioning into boxing. She's been playing this for a long time. And Cris, she has been in fighting for many years. And it's a while back I did a video about Cris Cyborg, and this is why I like her. That's why I follow her on social media, and also I follow her fights. It's because she reached out and she commented on the other video. And anytime anything comes up with Cyborg, I want to talk about it because you know what, I have respect for her. Now, this is going to be, I think, Cyborg's great opportunity to step up and to show her talent and skills in the sport of boxing. And Cyborg, she's been fighting for a long time. Her most people remember her when she fought in Strikeforce, and she fought against fought against Gina Carano, and she beat her. And that's been like about a little over 10 years ago. And then she fought in other organizations. Most notably, she was in Invicta for a good while, where she was the 145 champion there. And then she also fought outside of mixed martial arts, when she fought against Jarena Jojo Bars, and I think it was kickboxing. I believe it was Muay Thai. It was one of those, and that was one of her few losses she has in her career. And then later on, she made a move to UFC. The UFC picked her up because they didn't want to you want to know the issues with UFC because they was prejudiced, but she was a popular mixed martial arts fighter, one of the most popular, especially among the women. And then we all know her famous fight against Amanda the Lioness Queen Nunes. I'm always gonna call her that every time I see her. And the fight didn't go as well as we wanted as fans, and she, that was her. She lost. I mean, I think one thing was that Cris was playing with her emotions. She was fighting with her emotions. She should have fought a little smarter. And then, Cris, she left the UFC after they cut her after her last fight. And she went over to Bellator, where she fought Julia Bird, who was the 445 time champion, beat her. And after that, she has a couple of more fights after that. She fought Arlene Blanco for a first time defense. Then she fought a rematch with Leslie Peacemaker Smith, which was, when she fought the first time back in UFC. And she fought Sinead Kavanaugh, knocking her out. And then her second fight with Arlene Blanco, that was a war. I watched that fight. These women, they were going out. I mean, it was a battle. And Cyborg saw a lot of respect to Arlene. And Arlene put a good fight, even though it was a vicious fight. She put up a good fight. But you know what? Much respect to Arlene Blanco and to Cris Cyborg. And she's become friends with boxing champion Clarissa T Rex Shield. And I think Clarissa kind of inspired her to get into boxing. And this is a fight with us, and her opponent, Sylvia Simone. She's been fighting Silva de Simone. Simone de Silva. I want to get her name right. She's been fighting for quite some time, and she has her record's not too good, 72-22. And she was also at one point she was a champion, and I think it was the welterweight division, I believe. And eventually, she took some losses. Most notably, she fought one of my favorite fighters, and that is Amanda Serrano a few years ago, and she lost to Serrano by pretty much by, you might say, unanimous decision. And this is a great opportunity. They're fighting in their own backyard of Brazil. I believe they're fighting in Chris's hometown, I believe. I'm not sure per se. I can't remember where Chris is originally from, but it's in Brazil. And the fight's tomorrow. It's tomorrow night. So as we all know, she's planning on trying to transition into boxing because she has one more fight left of her contract with the UFC, with the Bellator, and there's talk of maybe a future fight between her and Katie Taylor. As you know, she's waiting on Cat Zingano to get some testicle fortitude and face her off because Kat's been dragging her feet, talking about, oh, Kristen take a PED test, and also, she's too busy trying to sue Halle Berry for something that never really was going to happen. It's just, I did a video about Kat Zingano. This is the thing is, in Hollywood, when they call you, they call you. If they don't, they don't. You one who messed up your own career. And then there's been, talks from Hype Job Harrison, who calls herself the queen of MMA. And she's calling out her, Cyborg, call out Cyborg, and also Marissa Pacheco. She might probably face in the PFL in a month or so. And then also calling out her former stablemate, Amanda Nunes. But Hype Job Harrison is what she is, a hype job. You can keep your mouth shut. You're not the queen. You're a popper. Your skill set is nothing compared to either Cris Cyborg or even, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan of the Lioness Queen, but she is a good fighter. I will give her that. And you're not at that level. You're not. You just bullshit your fighters, and that's it. And, it's just also talk of Cris Cyborg even going over to doing wrestling. I remember a while back I did a video where she reached out to her and Thunder Wrestlers are friends. They worked together, trained together in the past, and maybe doing some wrestling. In AEW, you saw Paige Van Zandt supposed to be coming over there. You got Ronda Rousey over in WWE. We have quite a few wrestlers who transition. I mean, quite a few MMA fighters who transition to wrestling because, it's a good job. You get paid money and don't have to take too much as hits compared to MMA. Like I said, I want to wish Cris Cyborg the best of luck in his upcoming fight. I hope this is the future. Last month was a birthday, and Cris is 37 years old, and I know MMA can really put a lot of stress on you, and it can be especially affects you as a fighter. And you know what, much respect to her and her commitment and passion for the sport of MMA, but you know what, maybe it's time for her to move on. Boxing might be good for it. Not as much as it's still kind of tough to be a boxer, but compared to MMA fighters, they have a lot worse. Because, like I said again, you're not just fighting with your fists; you're fighting with everything, your knees, your elbows, and all that other stuff. But Cris Cyborg, I think she's a great lady, a great fighter, a great athlete, and I hope this is an opportunity for her to go to the next level in her life. And I think she can probably do pretty good in boxing. It's just, people have the doubts about this opponent because this opponent's record's not that good. But we got to start somewhere. You can't. You want to start. You got to start from the bottom and get to the top. And maybe we get the future. You might even get that Katie Taylor versus Cris Cyborg fight, or even there's one fighter who's been talking a little trash, and that's actually it's her husband. That's Jessica McCaskills. And I don't know, Jessica has a chance against Cris Cyborg, but I like to see that fight. I would like to see that fight. But like I said, much respect to Cris Cyborg. Good luck to her tomorrow night. And this fight's gonna be main event. It's gonna be part of, I think it's called Fight Music Show 2, and you can check it out. I will leave the social media stuff link in the description because I don't want to leave too many links because sometimes these links can die or whatever else. And it's in Brazil. It's a pay-per-view, and she is the main event. And that's pretty good because, Cris Cyborg is very popular in Brazil. I think she's more popular than the Lioness Queen, Amanda Nunes. But fight's going to be tomorrow. I will leave social media in the description. Check it out. Support Cris Cyborg. Support Simone Sylvia. Support these fighters in mixed martial arts and boxing. It's just I respect their commitment and passion for this sport. And especially, like I said, I'm a big fan of Cyborg. And I'm always going to say this, Cyborg Nations to this day. To this day. Well, much respect to Cris Cyborg and her opponent, and good luck tomorrow. And I hope you do try to support her and her future in the sport of boxing. Anyway, this is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Boxing Talk. Don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.